This is Melissa, and today I'm here and I want to talk to you about toxic relationships. This is a subject that a lot of women I see online are talking about. They have been in really bad relationships. And, this is part of what affects a girl's decision with abortion, whether that is somebody close to her or a parent or somebody who is toxic in her life. So let me see where to start off. I think one of the hardest things to see in a toxic relationship is that it's it's really can be deceiving. It can be really difficult to see, and trying to be aware of it is probably the hardest thing to see, because once you see it, you can deal with it. So for me in my life, I had family that was extremely toxic, and I had to really deal with this for many, many years. And it was a situation that was really heartbreaking, really sad to have to deal with this. But I think it started off years ago. And once I became a mother, I really had my foot down as a mother. And so rather than having an abortion, and I've talked about the abortion that was forced on me by adults in my life. There was my own parents, there was my boyfriend's parents, my boyfriend, his sister, and just, the doctor. And nobody told me what an abortion was. Nobody told me what the procedure would be. This is as a kid, too. So nobody was there. And I did not have one person to help me, not one person say, hey, you know, what are you talking about? She isn't having an abortion. I remember hearing my mother say, do you want to keep the kid or what? Or don't tell me you're pregnant, and shaming me and that type of thing. And then the displeasure I felt. And, shortly after the abortion, I remember being thrown um, against the door. I remember my hair being pulled out, and then later being told I deserved it. So that's just, one side of what had happened to me with my parents. And looking back now, seeing how little by little, when I had my own kids, I distanced myself from them. And they would complain and say, how come we can't grandparent, and we can't do this and we can't do that? And, taking a car seat and not using a seat belt with my kids, and me speaking up and saying, hey, you can't do that, and hearing, well, it's your fault. It's your fault we didn't use a car seat, and it's your fault this, and it's your fault that. When you come out of that, it's very freeing. And that was one of the best things I ever did for myself. And as a Christian, we're told to honor our parents, but that is not honoring or healthy behavior. Same with my husband's parents. They actually tried to use the Bible to make us honor them when we spoke up and said, these are our kids. This is the way it is with our kids. This is how we do our family. You did your family how you thought you should do it, and now it's our turn. And when they didn't like it and we went against their grain, I mean, we heard everything from, we're going to come over and we're going to knock the door down, to, you better, you know, let us see, our son, and da 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 da. And then shaming their own son, going on Facebook and, calling him names left and right. So these are really toxic situations that I really honestly feel after all the years of this. And yes, there was a sense of, it wasn't all bad, is what I'm trying to say. And that's where emotional abuse is really tricky, because it's not all bad. There are some really good parts. There are highs and there are lows. There are times that, things go really well, and times things go awful. And when you have people in your life who are drama queens and they like to do this, there's a lack of consistency. There's a lack of trust. You do not have the ability to trust them because you don't know if you're walking on eggshells one minute to the next. And, this is where we want to be able to draw the line and put boundaries up as women, and be able to say, hey, I'm not okay with this. I'm not comfortable with this. You need to call before you come over. You need to respect my time. You need to respect as an adult. I'm a woman with my own opinions and my own views. And when that's not in place, it really does tear down relationships. So, what I would recommend for many girls is to set the boundaries early in life. And it's something that I really couldn't do as a kid. I mean, I was allowed to date boys. I had no guidance. I wasn't taught, how valuable I was, and that, you want to wait until you're married to have kids and, things like that. And my first boyfriend had used a condom that I remember questioning and saying, that doesn't look really safe. And he was just like, it's fine. And then the thing broke. And it was really a situation that I was not able to control at all. And then going from that situation to having others, pretty much because I was a kid, take me to the clinic and have me have an abortion, just traumatized the thing so much more. So it wasn't until later when I actually had my own kids that, my first son, I was so, so happy to have, that I had someone to love, somebody to care about, because my self-esteem at that point had gone down pretty much, with some pretty, a bad boyfriend and everything. So, as you get that mother's voice, when you do have a baby, you learn to stand up for yourself, and you learn that this is your child and you will do as you see fit, and you will take care of your child differently than maybe the other generation did. So when you have many, many people trying to sap your energy and drain you and just expect so much from you, and they want you to make them happy, it's just so toxic. And you know that you never can make them happy because they're just pretty much miserable people who are leeching off you to make you their, to make them happy. And it's just coming out of those situations for me where I had them tell me, try to still treat me as a kid and tell me what to do. And if I didn't do it, it was our way or the highway. It just is so destructive. So I want to encourage girls to find your own voice, be able to stand up for yourself. And I know it's really hard. And if you're in a situation that you are thinking of abortion, I would encourage you to reach out to somebody. I had nobody. It was all done in secret. My father said, don't tell anybody about this. And it was to save face. It was not for my good, but to save face. So a lot of parents are ashamed when their daughters get pregnant, yet they are the very ones who allowed her to have sex and encouraged it with boys, or to not care, or to not offer guidance, and definitely not to protect her from being alone with a guy. So if you're in this situation, I just want to say, keep your chin up and, move forward and set those boundaries in relationships that are so destructive. Set them, hold people accountable, speak your mind. This used to look really masculine for a woman to be able to set boundaries, but it really isn't. There's nothing wrong with women setting boundaries and saying, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and you need to respect it. So, okay, until next time, thanks, guys.